It's Matt here, and in today's video I want to give you 4 ways that you can make your offer more competitive. So if you're a buyer in today's market, the reality is multiple offers are prevalent. It used to be just a handful of houses that have multiple offers. Now it seems like almost all of them. And it can be crazy. You're a buyer, we're touring houses, and you see a home you love. You're imagining cooking for your family in the kitchen and entertaining friends and looking out into a beautiful backyard, imagining your kids running around and playing. And then we call the seller's agent and they say, there are multiple offers on hand and you need to give us your highest and best by the end of the weekend. Well, that means you as a buyer need to have a very competitive and winning offer in that multiple offer situation. All right, so the first thing to think about, price. Pay a high price. And the reality is in this market, it's probably higher than you had in mind. I'm often telling buyers now, when you look at properties, imagine paying 10% more. And if that would make you feel uncomfortable, then look for a lower price point. When it comes to offering high, if you're paying $1 more where you would be fine letting it go, then pay up to that amount. And so start with a high price because that's what a seller is looking at and they're gonna dig into all the other terms from there. Number 2, look at your option period, your option fee, and then secondarily, the earnest money. What do I mean by this? Well, sellers hate option periods because you as the buyer can change your mind for any reason whatsoever. So first, if you're gonna have an option period, make it really short. Make it like a 3-day option period. Secondly, pay a lot of money for that. I remember once upon a time, you could have a 10-day option period for $100. Now I would be thinking, hey, you probably wanna be looking at 3, 5, 7 days at the most, and paying towards $1,000, maybe $2,000 or $3,000, depending on the situation with that particular house. So pay a lot for that option period because you're putting more money at risk and the sellers will reward that by seriously considering your offer. The other piece is the earnest money. Now, the reality is the earnest money is refundable to you, but it's gonna be tied up during this whole closing process. Often we pay 1%, but maybe you wanna offer 2 or 3% earnest money and have that money at risk held in escrow just to show that you're a more serious buyer for the house. So the third thing you need to do is take your terms and make sure those are very favorable to the seller. Let's start with financial terms, things that could cost one of the parties money. Take that cost on as a buyer. That would be things like your title policy, purchasing the survey. Certainly don't ask the seller to pay any of your closing costs. Also, don't ask for a home warranty. So take on those costs as a buyer. And then there are other non-financial terms that'll be valuable to them as well. We talked about the option period, keeping that short, but think about maybe closing quickly or having your financing approval timeline be 0 days or just a couple days. All of these things that make it more favorable to the seller and reduce the seller's risk, that's gonna elevate your offer above those that may be same on the price. So the last thing I wanna talk to you about in terms of making your offer more competitive is limiting or eliminating contingencies. So when sellers look at contingencies, they just look at them as obstacles for the buyer and they create risk for the seller in the transaction. So if we can limit them or get rid of them altogether, sellers are gonna prefer an offer that has that. Obviously, one contingency people know about is for sale of other home contingency or contingent upon the sale of the other house. Well, forget about it with that one. We need to find a completely different approach. But financing, that's in many, many contracts. With the cash offer, there's no appraisal, there's no financing timelines. Obviously, sellers like that, but we can limit your financing. Maybe we can go to the lender up front and have them do all your underwriting so that we don't need any time for you to get approved. So we can reduce that or eliminate that contingency. And then appraisal. We've talked before about appraisal waivers. We could use that to reduce that contingency as well. When you start to stack all these contingencies up and you reduce or eliminate them, that makes your offer far more attractive to the seller compared to somebody who's left them all in their contract. So those are 4 ways that you can make your offer more competitive. You can take a look at that price, offer the highest you feel comfortable with, certainly being really competitive with the option period, keeping that a short amount of time and paying a lot of money for it, if you even have one at all. Then you wanna offer the seller some very favorable terms. And then you want to limit or completely eliminate contingencies altogether. Obviously, multiple offers can be stressful and tricky, but you can win. And if I view it as one of the most important parts of my job as an agent, to give you that personal, customized advice to help you make that best offer. Now, at the end of the day, it's up to you to walk on the field and hit it out of the park, but I want to set you up so you can do that and be your coach and be your guide throughout this journey. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I look forward to connecting with you in person soon. Take care. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. And in the meantime, make sure to check out some of our other videos featured on our channel.